I couldn't wait for the sun to come up, unfortunately, because God inspired me to take action. A lot of you do not know that this argument has been waged in the black community for a long time. When Corrupt made the song about the past, he says, "Stop tripping, nigga, for a nigga have to stop chipping niggas." It is actually a subtle way of saying that yes, he's with the New World Order. And if you look at it, he stood up for the New World Order time and time again. He says, they say I'm the evil one, Gotti, Adolf Hitler. And it's called going against the grain. They're not referring to the white man's power structure, like a lot of you think. I thought that too. But to really look at what they're really getting at is Egypt. He's going against Egypt on behalf of Rome. He's going against Bethlehem, the house of bread, and Egypt on behalf of Rome. Okay? So, think about it. And who's he sticking up for? A Roman school of thought. Gangbanging is Western culture. It's not African, right? So he's saying gangbang is a terrorist act. And they lock us up wherever the terrorist act. So all the occult guys are looking at it, and Black Masons like, we feel you, man. But people like me, who TLC responded to with the song No Scrubs, are very, very sad. Basically TLC responded to the tribe of Judah saying, we need to worship God and return to our roots by making that song. We said to them, look, I wasn't born yet when we made this argument to their parents. But they said, look, you're leading our people astray. What you're doing is evil, and it's not black culture. Okay, we have our own social order. And then they said, look, we're putting the social order down. And I'm telling you, no, that's not going to fly. You feminists teaming up with the enemies of God, like Sutek teaming up in APEP, and Neptis and them, it's not going to fly. Bess, it's not going to fly. I will tell you, best like bitches, work out. I'll tell you, Sutex, just because you're bigger and stronger than someone doesn't mean I can't rip out your throat before you realize what the fuck happened. That's what speed represents. The Falcon is fast, he's precise, he's deadly. That's why I win. I'm faster, I'm preciser, and I cover the distance, and I kill you. Stop pretending you're tough. You have no idea how hard it is to convince myself not to rip off your head after I slice it off with an Ikanga knife when you pretend that you're tough. Do you really want to see what it means to be a headhunter? Sit down and shut up. I've shown you that I'm almost as fast with a knife. I'm maybe a fraction of maybe a nanosecond slower. I could stab you if I had a knife in each hand 15 times in 1.2 seconds while your fat ass is still trying to put your hands on me. And every one of them is going to be the type of blow that causes you to leak. So even if you do manage to grab me, I'll be wrestling a leaking fucking faucet that's on its way out, if you get what I'm saying. Any other questions or comments? Now let's get to the harlots. You did not stand with me. I rebuke all females in America. You have sided with the harlot. 40% of you call yourselves feminists, while another at least 40% are white racist Christians, from Mormons to Protestants to every Masonic garbage that believes you shouldn't think bad, you shouldn't speak bad about your race, even if the Bible tells you to. Oh, forget what those prophets have to say. We're the educated white Roman pagans. We know best. That's their argument. Don't sit there like it's not. And anybody who would say, oh, we have to silence you behind the scenes. These people are Protestant Masons with American flags in their church, okay? I challenge you to prove me wrong. There's American flags in almost all their churches. They say we support our country. Many of them are military vets, okay? When I was at Oak Grove, Navy hat. Okay, ask them. Ask them. They believe in separating church and state. So why are they sabotaging me on the low on behalf of the state? Because they never separated church and state. They are the Romans saying we're going to separate Christianity from Rome. Okay? They said church. They didn't say Buddhism. They didn't say atheism. They said church. They said the Afro-Asiatic dialect of Hebrew and the resulting church will be separated from state. And all of us will work together to deny black people their rightful place. And any woman that rolls with us has rendered unto Caesar that which is his, in the form of human resources, mind, body, and soul, and not just money. So therefore I rebuke you harlots for riding the beast. I represent he who will come with a sword, and all of us who roll with him. In case you haven't noticed, when there's a battle in heaven between the good angels and the evil ones, it's not just God fighting with them. He's fighting with them mostly through spirit. It is people like me and angels clashing with them. So I speak on behalf of the spirit of the people of Africa and Judah. I speak on behalf of God and the angels who are going to war. I am not a prophet. I am the top martial artist in American history, and I have a very profoundly respectable position in heaven. And if you don't understand that, read a fucking book. And if you think you know better than me, are you the brain surgeon's son? Do you have them hiding? Was it you? Do you have 175 IQ? Hey, do you have 4,000 videos and over 10,000 valid sources? Sit down. You ulterior motive having cowards, you sit down. Horus is back on top of the pyramid to restore Judah's rightful place, especially in the minds, hearts, and souls of Christians. Either you are with me on everything that is sacred and pure, either you are with me, or on ancestors and God, you are with the enemy. This sword divides. It doesn't unite as masonry. It divides. Between my own father, my Masonic mother, and me, it divides. 3. Mind, body, soul. 3 steps to understanding. 3 steps to the temple. Mind, body, soul. And martial arts, in the absence of a prophet, messiah, etc., done with a moral code that reflects Christian morality, sacred morality, makes one the top mind, body, and soul and the closest to God. And I will fight to the death until you respect that tradition. How did David become king? And wasn't Solomon glorified because of what David did to become king? The same way the pharaohs were glorified over what Narmer did to become the pharaoh of Egypt's first dynasty. Mene. Notice he had more than one name, right? He has more than one name. Why? Because there's more than one perspective and story. All these white, ditzy, fucking feminist liberals came into Egypt. Like, oh, that's cool. We'll teach our parents, we'll teach our people our own way, and we'll make it so women get all the respect. A bunch of white, Greek, lesbian, gender, feminist, fucking scum, pedophile, pedestry. Secret society men that recruit little boys, little choir boys into the Greco-Roman church, and teach them how to be a secret society slob. And I'm teaching you how to be a man of God. Okay, these principles are light temple Horus principles. Joshua used the sun. Horus used speed, distance, and precision, and he has a sacred moral code because of his higher understanding. I am smarter than them. I come from a smarter family than they do. Using their own Western scale, I have a higher IQ, and, wait for it, I have superior genes. I am the son of 2 doctors. You are the son of 2 sniveling dogs that use Masonic network to get your position. According to your own Galton Mason scale, I am your superior. I am the wisest and the best, and certainly according to Scripture. So you sit down and you shut up. And if for nothing else, according to African philosophy and who put this shit together, we are the foundation, not you. You sit down and you shut up. Nubian culture is the foundation of all civilization. Wrestlers are respected amongst the poor, and they are the muscle for the percussive motherfuckers who pose with weapons. And that is African culture. You will honor the wrestler as the most honored, and you will honor me as the king. And when he can murder the wrestler, you will honor me as the representative of God with more power than the wrestler. That is our culture. Let me explain why. Real quickly, and we'll end it. In Igbo culture, they removed the violence. And when Christianity came, it solidified that idea in many Igbos' minds. But we are not just Igbos, we are Judah and Egypt. Many Igbos are traders and masons, okay? We come from a culture of Nubia. We all do. Nubia predates, Igbo Uku by tens of thousands of years, okay? That is our true culture. That is the beginnings of human civilization and higher thought, the Nubian culture. And they were black with a touch of Asiatic. And when they united Egypt, they became a little bit more Asiatic. And when they left Egypt as Jews, they became a little bit more Asiatic. But they never forgot the foundation. And you cannot place the capstone without having a proper foundation. What happens when the foundation and the capstone are divided and they're not in tune with God? It collapses. The foundation is African. The capstone is Afro-Asiatic. And Babylon is building a Japheth and Native American and other philosophies that exclude the true African principles of mind, body, and soul. That is why all of you owe me Obi essence, the essence of Obi. Obi backwards is Igbo, so you never forget that these people have it backwards, and we are the ones that you're supposed to pay tribute to. And when you bow your heads, okay? Those backward sons of bitches, what, are they going to claim that civilization started in Japan or Korea? Come on. I've even heard Jordan Maxwell claim that it started in the Americas and that we have it backwards. That's what their conspiracy theorists say. Aliens built pyramids, not black people. And civilization started in fucking Peru or something, or the Amazon, and not in Africa. You see what I'm saying? Do you believe in truth and walk in the light? Or are you trying to make your fucking people look good out of jealousy and spite? Which one do you think is right? I am your Pharaoh. This is the social order of God. And if you don't respect it, you are not of God. You are not of our spirit. This is the spirit of God. And if you oppose it on behalf of your secret societies or any other white Greco-Roman or American philosophy, then you've made your choice. This is what I represent. Fighting for God. Not necessarily the white people who carried this sword, but fighting for God and to honor God. God said, honor your mother and father. If they adhere, if not, the only way to honor them is to honor God, and then you help people see your family differently. They're no longer these cowards who sold you out to psychiatry and masonry. They're no longer these Scottish cowards. Now, in our family is a true man of God, and every one of you should bow to me with nothing but respect and love for it. God chose me. I am my father's namesake. That was the beginnings of the succession. Now, I will leave my brother with all the material goods and all the women he wants, my older brother. I will die a man of God, but you never forget. As I love you, brother, but you never forget God chose me. And you are Judas that held me down when I went back to the psych ward for the first time in many years. You used those inferior wrestling arts with another big black guy to hold me down, knowing I wouldn't hurt, knowing I was not going to fight you. Okay? You are Judas. That's what Judas did to Jesus. I dealt a blow to your ego like Jesus did to Judas when I didn't agree with you about materialism. And you fucking betrayed me. Knowing I wouldn't lift a finger, you sent me to the white devils. You can have all the material stuff you want. You can